So after 7 days from that 1 kilo, you'll get 6, 7 to 8 kilos, depending on how you water.
So hi farmers, yeah, I'm in the hydroponic unit, as you can see behind me. So make sure you watch the video and make sure you like, share and subscribe as we meet Mr. Angata, who will be telling more as hydroponic.
Here now is where we have our food for the pigs, whereby we normally soak a kilo for a tray. So normally we soak 10 kilos a day for 10 trays. So one tray like this one will keep you fodder of about 6 to even 7 kilos. That is after 7 days, either 7 or 8 days. So here we are doing many things. So these are the feeds. This is what we call hydroponic fodder.
It looks like a carpet.
Yeah, it looks like a carpet. And all this needs only is water. And we normally soak the crates. We are using the barley, and we soak them for at least 4 hours. And then after 4 hours, we drain the water. And then after draining the water, we put them in trays. After draining the water, we let it stay for 24 hours. And then after 24 hours, they would start shootings. Like this one was for yesterday.
Those have been soaked, huh?
Yeah, this has been trained water.
Okay.
I trained water from this one yesterday. And you can see we have these white heads, so they have started shooting. Yeah, so they will normally start from the reticle, and that is why you can see this white stuff. And for today, I had these ones which I did soak in the morning, and then after soaking, we normally transfer this one towards this container with holes. Was this especially in training the water, and then you can do it. So with this one, you just pour, then the water comes out. Just like that. And then now, after draining water, you just leave it stay for 24 hours. Then after 24 hours, you come and then put them in the trays.
Does this water have anything unique?
Yeah, it contains some nutrients,
okay,
especially after soaking, and that is why I directed them towards either these citrus plants. Yeah, instead of throwing them away, just go towards it.
It's an ecosystem, a cycle.
Yeah. So these are not on. Let me finish this. So you have to soak them for at least 4 hours. So some people normally soak them for 24 hours. That is in the evening, and then early in the morning, they'll come and then drain the water.
What's the main purpose of soaking?
The main purpose of soaking is to allow them observe water, to enable them. Let me put it in a simple term. To break dormancy. So water assists mostly in breaking the dormancy of the seed. So that is why after soaking, you see them starting to shoot. So
you have mentioned about barley.
Yes.
Is there other seeds that can also be used in case?
Yeah, that's a good question. When doing what we call hydroponic, you can use any seeds available, from maize, sorghum, we have the oat, barley, any grain available in your area, even soya beans, you can use them to produce fodder. And hydroponic is not meant only for the animal fodder. We have also let's say other sprouts which can be used for consumption. So you can grow even the beans
for human consumption.
Yeah, for human consumption. Like the beans, you can grow them, and then when they start sprouting, you cook them. Very delicious. Protein as well as also vitamins.
So you are cooking them as vegetables?
Vegetables, or yeah, you cook them as vegetable using the sprouts, which are very, or let's say highly nutritious. So normally after soaking, you normally come and then put them in these trays. Okay, so after soaking for at least 24 hours, you can now transfer them to the trays. And the trays we have here, we have got about two different types of trays. We have this one, the fiberglass, as well as also the aluminum trays. The fiberglass are a bit durable, even though they are expensive. And then also with this one, they are expensive but durable. So what you do normally is just put, you can see this one normally have holes at one point for aeration. And when you see this is the rack. The rack is slanting in, it is like a zigzag, in a zigzag manner. Okay. So that when this one trains water, it will train to the second, the first one, second one, and that and like that. So with this one, you just put the tray like that, and then after putting the tray, you now put the your seeds. Contents, the seeds, in these trays, and then you level them, and then after that, you just water them, just water. I normally use this small item to measure them. This one is for 1 kg, and so that I don't weigh them every now and then, so I measure 1 kilo and then I cut it into half.
So for every tray it takes just 1 kg.
Yeah, 1 kg. Okay, let's take for example, this one is 5 kg, so that means you'll have to take 5 trays, and then you divide this one into those 5 trays. So what you normally do is you put, for the first soaked, you just put 5 trays like this. So to make it easy for you, so these are 5 trays. Okay, and you know, normally when they absorb water, they swell. Yeah. Swelling means they increase in mass. So even though I weighed at first 1 kilo, they would have increased in the mass. So you just put the first 1 kilo like that. And then now you divide the remaining. So, and then after dividing the remaining, you now come and label it.
Yeah.
And I normally use a symbol tool. So this one is the thing I normally use to label. Like this. And for the first day, you don't overwater, because they don't have the already developed roots, and if you overwater them, they'll be burned or will be drained and then lead to block all those sides for drainage. So like this one is done, and if you observe it keenly, you'll see that I have left the holes, and these holes are meant for aeration.
Aeration of the seed.
Yes, so that it doesn't block.
Okay.
Yeah. Not really aeration, drainage.
The drainage of the water.
Yeah. Then after this one, what you do is you water them thinly. So this one is done.
Yes. The ducks will.
This chicken wire. So currently I'm using a nozzle. So I have this nozzle, which I normally use them for watering. And this one here, I normally put what we call warm water from red regular earthworms. So after that, you just put the clay water here.
So that nini holds worms.
Yeah, for what we call worm tea. You call them worm tea. So if you permit me, we have the worm tea outside there.
Okay.
Yeah, from red regular worms. You go there and then you here I keep earthworms, and from these earthworms, the liquids which drain, we call them worm tea. So these are the water from earthworms.
We're talking about
And
worm tea or
worms, worm tea.
Worm
Yeah, this one. We have what we call worm tea.
tea. Okay.
Yeah. So we have all this one, and then so this is the worm tea. That's the liquid which comes out, and then we have the solid one. We call them worm casting. Worm casting.
Very means.
Yeah, the solid one. So after eating everything, you'll have the fully eaten material left, and those one we call them castings. Like here, they've eaten almost everything, and then we have this one. These are the earthworms, and then so this one doesn't have any other, because you see they look like the soil. I mean, they have been completely used.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one now I'll have to remove them, and those are the worm casting, and then put
So after the, how do you able to maybe taking the after the residue after they have been decomposed? Huh?
Yes.
What do you take? How do you?
Okay. Normally you heap them in one side like this, and then you open this this enclosure, and then when you open it, they'll tend to go down. So after they go down, you just come and scoop all those solid waste.
Okay.
And then you now introduce new food. And for this one, we are using animal waste, and as well as also the kitchen waste.
Because I'm seeing there is the worm tea now.
Yeah.
So that you can get the worm tea, it is in liquid form. How have you been able to achieve? Do you add water or?
Yeah. Okay. What you normally have to do is to keep it moist. Most of the time, you keep it moist. It should be moist, not dry. And when it is moist, you'll find those drop of water. And for this one, they are used as foliar to feed the plants. At the same time, they act as biocides, which repel most of the viruses, which are
Most of the pests.
Yeah, like the aphids and the like. And most of the flying insects, they don't like the smell. So that is why it is very vital in your system.
So in part of the hydroponic, huh?
Yes.
In control of the pests and diseases, you use this one.
Yeah, not normally we use it to boost the crops, because it normally takes, yeah. And you know, when doing hydroponic, it is really affected by pests and diseases. Yeah, because they are not in contact with the soil and other things. So that is why we use this one only to boost the growth.
Okay.
Yeah, so that they grow fast and also healthy. So with this gun, this nozzle, we have these tips, which assists in mixing.
Okay.
So with this one, it comes and then it mixes like that. And then, so for this grown seeds, you'll have to mix this one. And see how it mixes as it feeds the growing plant. And then later on, you'll have something like this.
Wow.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the cost of production of hydroponic.
Yeah.
We do some maths.
Yes.
In every tray, you said it needs 1 kg.
Yes.
What is, because the input is raw. You said we talked about the input is raw,
okay,
and the output is.
Okay, the input is 1 kg, the one you soaked. So we count from the soaking, and then from that 1 kilo, let's say for the after soaking, you'll gain also about half a kilo after observing water, and that is why the mass has increased. You'll have extra, and then after 7 days, you'll have extra weight as well. So after 7 days from that 1 kilo, you'll get 6, 7 to 8 kilos, depending on how you water. And in hydroponic, we need to water them 3 times a day: morning, afternoon, then also evening. So if you water them evenly, then you'll be able to achieve your goal. And then also the humidity within also is very important. That is why we have the thermometers here to assist us in maintaining the humidity and know if it is very hot or dry, and know what measures you need to do. If this humidity is low, that means you need to provide more shades at the top, and then the normal air can come from the sides. And then we have this wire to prevent the rats and birds which can come and take the grains.
So during establishment of the structure of the hydroponic, there are some factors that you're supposed to consider. So you have said about the humidity, you must have more shelter in a...
Okay, normally when doing hydroponic, you have to be prepared. That is why you have to design. And designing, you must know the things you need. For example, this is a structure, let's say 15 by 12, by 12 feet. And with this structure, you'll find that we have the chicken wire to prevent birds and rodents which can come and feed on your seeds. Secondly, the roof, which must prevent, even though it allows light, or sometimes you can just close the top completely, because we don't need, in every growing seeds, we don't need direct sun. And to prevent them from scorching, you need to reduce as much as possible. Another thing, here the structure is peeled in a slanting manner. So that is why if you see, for example, this one here, when you water this, the water comes or flows from this one towards the second one. And then the second one was the last one. And then after that one, it goes towards the watering system. To water the crops or either the lawn, so that there is no water wastage. So you can see this one is coming towards this one, and then excess also goes round and then comes to this one. So even though you need to water them, to water all the sides for even distribution of water, the slanting manner also assists in directing all the water towards one point. You can see we have the gathers here. So the gathers direct water towards the farm, the orchard. We call it food forest.
You have talked about, because you have been to this hydroponic for a long period of time,
Yes.
What are some of the challenges that you have come across in an hydroponic unit?
Okay, hydroponic system, we can experience several challenges, especially during dry season. They tend to dry up so fast. Hence, and then also that is why we are trying to reduce this transparent roof to prevent scorching of young or burning of those young tissue from the seeds. Another thing is when you escape to water them, you'll see some patches like that, even though it is not a problem, because on the 6-7 days, you'll see all the seeds are even. Another thing also is sometimes when you don't have enough water. When you don't have enough water, then you'll face it as a challenge. And then also maybe these, especially the aluminium breaking, so we call them, we count those one as a challenge, especially when doing the hydroponic. But all in all, you have to get married to your project. That means you have to keep it running no matter what. So that is also the main reason.
What about the benefits that you have seen, you have experienced about hydroponic? Okay,
first of all, the cost of production is low. That means you'll gain more. And then also, from every 1 kilo, you gain 7 kilos. 1 kilo, you get an extra 6 kilos. and we bought 1 kilo at 50 shillings, and then with that extra we can also weigh extra kilos. So with this one, from 10 kilos you have almost 70 kilos at the end. 10 kilos you have 70 kilos, and you know, if you are feeding your pigs normally takes about 1.5 kg in the morning and 1.5 in the evening, making a total of 3 kilos a day. So you'll be able to feed your animals at a little cost, and this one can be fed to cattle, sheep, goats, birds, let's say everyone in the system.
So between, if you are asked, between hydroponic and seed planting to the soil, which one would you prefer?
Okay, I prefer hydroponics because it is less tedious. The main reason, even though also we can do them in the farm as well, but for this one, there's no time that you need to buy or to make the pesticide to control. They just need water. So for the side of the diseases and also the pests which normally come and affect, then there will be no infestation as well as the spread of diseases because they are not in contact with the soil. So that is also the main advantage.
So how long does it take so that it can be ready for consumption?
This one takes 7 days. So from 6 to 7, okay, but normally it varies, especially whatever you are keeping. If you are keeping poultry and you want to feed this hydroponic to your poultry, you make it about this is 4 days or even 3 days, and they will consume everything. But if it is also 5 days or let's say 5 days or 6 days, then they will have a problem eating those especially the chicken. So they'll have a problem eating those fodder, and then you'll see there's a waste. So it should be either 3 days or 4 days. Yeah, but for the animals, then 7 days or 8 days is okay. Yeah.
Let's talk about the content value in the, maybe for example, you're using barley.
Okay, for the barley, let's compare. When you use the seeds only, the seeds normally have starch. That means they are rich in carbohydrate.
Yes.
But after making it through hydroponics, they have excuse. So they have added some extra nutrients. Take for example, the green have got the protein as well as also the vitamins. And then at the same time, also we have the roots. They are very rich in minerals as well as also the extra balls which are very rich in calcium as well as also some other minerals needed by the plant. So they'll still have the starch, that is the carbohydrate. You'll have the protein as well as also the vitamins. So you would have added value to the feeds from the normal one. The seeds only carbohydrate, but for this one you've added value to your feed. So to mean they are very healthy to your animals.
Wow. What about the protein? Maybe we talk, maybe for farmers who keep cattle, the cows.
Yes.
Most of the time their feeds, they require more protein and energy so that they can be able to produce a lot of milk.
That's a good question. Okay, to tell you, if you are keeping the the cows and the goats, sheep, let's say most of those ruminants, their feeding differs from the pigs and other things.
Yeah.
For monogastric, you know, they like it wet the way they are. But for those ruminants, those animals which you got, they like it when it has lose a bit of water. So that is why when feeding your cattle, you need 70% of dry matter, and for this green, they need only 30%. So if your cow weighs about 400 kilos, that means the 70% is about 40 kilos. So 70%, if you take normally an animal eats 10% of the body weight. So for a cow, if it is 400 kilos, 10% of the 400 kilos is 40. So to means a cow who weighs 400 kilos will have to eat 40 kilos of feed per day. To mean if you are giving them green, they will eat 30%. 30% is about 12 kilos. And then the remaining 28 kilos should be dry matter.
Wow.
Because the protein are needed for production. But if you feed them a lot of protein, you'll be using them for maintenance and then lowering the production. So that is the key thing you have to think about, especially when feeding your animals.
What's that advice that you can give to farmers who want to aspire to start a hydroponic project?
Okay, the best advice which I can advise any farmer is to start small. You can start with one tray, and then when you see it successful, then you go for more. After ascertaining that everything works well and your animals eat them very well. Don't just jump into hydroponics before knowing if it is working well or not. Start small and work on you advance on priorities. After you succeed in one, then you expand and you'll see the benefits of whatever you've started.
Because you have been to this agriculture field for some time, maybe I don't know how long, but what's that advice that you can give to that youth farmer, not just a youth farmer or just a youth who is complaining about unemployment? What's that advice that you can give to them about?
Okay, the most important advice is that you start with whatever you have, and you start a small project, even if it means maybe 2 poultry or 3, and then you expand. Later on, you'll be able to supply even the supermarkets after succeeding with the first one. So, and let's not be greedy on attaining many things in a short period of time. You need patience. And then another thing, for everything to succeed, you have to give time. Even if it means it will take you 3 to 4 years, so long as you remain in the track,
the consistency,
then you'll succeed.
So will you advise them to venture into agriculture or just wait for white collar jobs?
Okay, the most paying now career is farming. Here in farming, it will pay your school fees, pay you your rent and whatever. Farming, so long as you do it the right way, you'll be able to employ yourself and also employ other people. So try to venture into farming. Farming has got so many benefits. You can do it as a hobby, or you can do it as a business. And even hobby will turn into business later on.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Rangat, for the farm tour. We appreciate a lot for the knowledge that you have offered to us.
Most welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I forgot to ask about one thing. Do you offer training to farmers?
Yeah, we offer training to farmers. Most of the people come here to train at Nurisha Farm. And when they come to train, we have the 10 days course, which we charge it at 3,000 a day. And for those 10 days, it will be 30,000. For farm visits, which we give you just a small hint or small guidance on farming, as you also see it for yourself, at a cost of 1,500 per person. And then also with that one, also you try to visit the farm and then you learn more. Or if you have any questions, you can reach me through my number, which I'll share on my line.
Yeah.